The Met Police has confirmed it is to appeal against the High Court's ruling the force breached the rights of organisers of the vigil for Sarah Everard. Scotland Yard came under fire for its heavy-handed response to the vigil in Clapham Common, London, last year when images of women pinned to the ground by male officers were widely shared. Earlier this month, the High Court found in favour of 4 women who founded Reclaim the Streets, who brought the challenge against the force for its handling of the Met has now confirmed it is to appeal the decision to resolve what is required by law when policing protests. It said in a statement, following the High Court judgment issued on Friday the 11th of March, the Met has taken time to consider with great care the decision itself and the wider implications for policing. The pictures from the vigil for Sarah Everard shocked the world. Image, Getty Images. It's absolutely right that we are held to account for our actions and that there is proper scrutiny of the decisions we make as a police force in upholding legislation and maintaining public order. We also respect the strong views held by Reclaim These Streets in defense of human rights and public protest, and their pursuit of justice for these views. As an organization, we work with, support and police hundreds of protests and events across London every day, and take our responsibilities under the Human Rights Act in doing so very seriously. It's important for policing and the public that we have absolute clarity of what's expected of us in law. The force says it is important it has clarity over how to police future events. Image, Getty Images. This is why we feel we must seek permission to appeal the judgment in order to resolve what's required by law when policing protests and events in the Met had previously refused permission for the vigil to go ahead due to COVID laws in place at the time. Wayne Couzens, 49, was jailed for life for raping and killing Ms. Everard, 33, after he kidnapped her as she walked home in Clapham. The Clapham Common vigil took place 3 days after Ms. Everard's body was found in a Kent woodland in March last year. A spontaneous vigil and protest took place instead, with police making several arrests as they cracked down on the event. A lawyer for Reclaim These Streets reads a statement on the steps of the High Court after the earlier ruling. Image, PA. Most read. Inside house for sale for first time in 80 years, virtually untouched since 1930s. 3 Russian cosmonauts wear colors of Ukrainian flag as they arrive on space station. Russia fires invisible hypersonic missile in combat for the first time ever. Jessica Lee, Anna Burley, Henna Shaw and Jamie Klingler argued that decisions made by the force in advance of the planned vigil amounted to a breach of their human rights to freedom of speech and assembly. None of the force's decisions was in accordance with the law. The evidence showed that the force failed to perform its legal duty to consider whether the claimants might have a reasonable excuse for holding the gathering, or to conduct the fact-specific proportionality assessment required in order to perform that duty. Lawyers representing the 4 told the court at a hearing in January that notes of a Met Gold Command meeting the day before the proposed event included a statement that we are seen as the bad guys at the moment and we don't want to aggravate this. Tom Hickman QC, representing the 4, said in written arguments, the most significant threat identified was not public health but the perceived reputational risk to the force, including in the event they were perceived to be permitting or facilitating the vigil. Read more. Sarah Everard killer Wayne Couzens charged with 4 counts of indecent exposure. Read more. Why are police officers in court for Wayne Couzens? What apps? All charges they face.